missed is that man, which we already know, man kills for sport. And
So
this certainly was for sport. I mean,
that's what I was saying before when you walked away. Yeah, they kill for sport. They have no, the mankind is the only species that kills other species for sport. That
the only
kills
animal.
itself.
I mean, animals generally kill for food or to protect
Young ones.
their families, their young. Um,
But
or
okay.
they defend themselves if they're attacked. But the bottom line is, I mean, man, just hey, listen, shouldn't surprise us. I mean, one of the things I said in the past was that one thing man does very well is wage war against his fellow man.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it certainly doesn't surprise us in the least.
No, I sort of went over this a second ago when you walked away. I said, but why do people get more upset about this than they do over ISIS?
Well, it's not only, I heard that, it's not only that. Think, if you will, of the homeless people sleeping on the floor in any big city, any subway station, okay, sleeping in cardboard boxes. People walk by them like they don't exist, but if you see a dog or a cat limping, I mean, our heart goes out to these poor animals, but they certainly don't treat their fellow man that way. And as far as, I guess it's really no comparison with ISIS because, they're waging a jihad. They're waging a religious war. And, they believe that they're going to be rewarded in the next life. Oh, I have to tell you, every Thursday night, on CNN, they have a series called The 70s.
Right.
And they were discussing the Iranian hostages. Okay? One of the women who they interviewed, I recognized, one of the Iranian women who said that this is martyrdom, that you may kill me, but I'm a martyr. And the cause goes on. She happens to be one of the ministers in the Iranian government now, because they were talking to her about what this was before, the party of 5+1 agreed, to the nuclear deal, and she was hopeful that it would be agreed to and passed. Okay, but strangely enough, she was the one who said that you may kill me, but the fight goes on and I'm a martyr. Okay? And this is the woman who has a high-ranking position in the Iranian government right now.
Okay. What does that mean?
It leads me to wonder that in 35 years, has anything changed in her outlook? Okay, because she was willing to be martyred 35 years ago for the cause. Okay, and while I think that this is probably the best kind of deal that we can get, I know you and I differ on this. The bottom line is, it's a start, and if nothing else, if Iran, follows the guidelines and the rules, and that I know that's a big question mark, it prolongs them getting a nuclear weapon within the next 10 to 15 years. Without this deal, they can continue with their experiments. Who knows when they could get one?
They're going to continue with the
Uh,
experiments anyway. What's the difference?
I hear Republicans talking about, and I know we're straying, ladies and gentlemen, so I do apologize.
No, we said
Uh,
today's going to cover all
You
any and
know,
all topics.
they're talking about Kerry and Obama and the Munich Pact of 1938, you know, with Chamberlain and Hitler bringing us, Chamberlain said, I have brought us secured peace in our time. Okay? Uh, there is no comparison. Okay? The Republicans like to do this, you know, and by the way, so far we don't know of any Democrats who feel this is a bad deal. I'm sure there are some.
They're ready for
I'm sure there are some, but you
some
don't hear
already.
them.
I was listening today. There was some already today.
Well, but you don't hear them saying what the Republicans are saying, comparing Kerry to, you know, Neville Chamberlain, okay, and comparing this agreement to the Munich Pact, okay. I mean, Lindsey Graham and a bunch of other Republicans, I mean, when they hadn't even read it when they already condemned it. So, I mean, you know, how can you condemn something without reading it?
well,
You know?
because you're dealing with a country that can't be trusted for number one. So, what's the difference? What's what they sign if they're not going to uphold to it?
Well, you see, that's what we don't know. Okay.
That's what we're assuming is the Republicans' reasoning is the ones that didn't read it. Why did all the Democrats sign the Obamacare without reading it?
Hey, listen, Obamacare seems to be working pretty well a year and a half in. Okay?
Where?
Well, Felix, you have always been against Obamacare, so I guess you're not going to change now. But
I'm using Obamacare.
All right, let me tell you something. Because I had this conversation with my friend who is a staunch Republican, and he said he will thank Obama for one thing. He said in Obamacare, by lifting that cap, there's no longer a $2 million cap on those people with pre-existing conditions. Well, don't think about yourself, but think about your wife and what she's going through. If you didn't have Obamacare,
she doesn't have Obamacare. She never did. She has nothing. She's under Medicare. She was never involved with Obamacare.
If she didn't have Medicare, there is no way that you could pay for the kind of treatment that she's getting now. Okay? The Republicans don't seem to care about that.
No, the Republicans are not objecting to Medicare or Medicaid.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, yes, they are. What are you talking about? They certainly are. They want to do away with it. Rubio and some of the others want to give you a voucher. There's no way that whatever kind of voucher they give you is going to be able to pay for the kind of coverage that you have. Think about that.
No, the voucher buys insurance. Insurance companies are not going to tell you the middle, well, now we're not going to cover you anymore.
Felix, your wife has a pre-existing condition. She's one of the first people that would benefit from Obamacare. And you say Obamacare sucks? This I don't understand.
She's on Medicare. Has nothing to do with Obamacare. She will never be involved with Obamacare.
Hey, my friend who has leukemia also has Medicare, and he said that was the one good thing that came out of, for him, he said that's the one good thing that came out of Obamacare, okay?
Medicare has no pre-existing conditions. Medicare has no caps. It never did. I think Obamacare didn't take the right approach. I believe in one.
You don't have Medicare, right? You.
No, I told you I have Obamacare.
Felix, if you, God forbid, came down with cancer now, and you had to be treated, okay? Your insurance, if you didn't have Obamacare, you would not be able to afford the insurance.
I had the insurance before Obamacare that covered it. It was less expensive.
But there was a cap, a $2 million cap. Once you reach that, and believe me, you should know, well, I know you probably don't know, those people with pre-existing conditions, you could reach that $2 million cap very quickly when it comes to hospitalization, operations, drugs, okay, uh, rehab stays, etc.
You could,
That $2 million means nothing. Once you reach that cap, you'll, pardon my language, you would be shit out of luck.
well, first thing is that certain companies didn't have the caps, and you could eliminate the cap without having the whole Obamacare.
That was
Obamacare has done a lot of things that don't make sense, unfortunately, and it's not the kind of, I would rather have a universal health care, and that's the end of it.
Hey, listen, that would be single payer, and that's what everybody would like. But there is no way that the Republican
Everybody
Congress is
doesn't
going to go
want
for
it,
single
obviously.
payer.
Everybody doesn't want it, otherwise they'd have it.
Most people do want it. It doesn't make a difference, don't you understand? Because the Republicans control the House and now the Senate. So there's no way you would get that through. Don't you understand that?
I understand
Single
that.
payer is what Bernie Sanders wants, is really what Hillary Clinton wanted, is what almost every Democrat in Congress and in the Senate wants. Okay? I mean, single payer is like putting everybody on Medicare. Okay? And one thing that everybody agrees upon, not Republicans, however,
So if
is
it's
that
not
Medicare,
everybody, if you say not Republicans, then it's not everybody that agrees on it. The Democrats might agree, but you can't say everybody agrees. But it's not everybody. It's because the Republicans don't agree.
go study the speeches of the 16, even Donald Trump says that we should have single payer, okay? And he can certainly afford the best medical care in the world, okay? But the bottom line is,
Right now he's saying,
read what Cruz and Rubio and Graham, okay, and Christie and all the rest of the Republicans who hope to become get the nomination for from the Republican Party. They all want to do away with Obamacare.
and
They,
so does Trump. Don't say Trump doesn't. Trump said it today. I heard him. Or yesterday.
I know he wants to do away with it.
Okay. So, and by the way, his two kids are hunters. And they were showing pictures of them with the leopards and lions and stuff like that.
Well, Trump is a hunter.
I don't know about Trump.
Yeah, he hunts women. He hunts wives.
Yeah.
You know. Hey, listen, when they were talking in his interview with, I don't know if it was Fox or CNN, but he was talking about family values. And they said, well, what kind of family values do you have? You've been married 3 times, it's whatever. But, hey, look,
Well, right now, Trump is the Republicans' worst nightmare and Hillary's best friend.
well, because he's threatening to
Exactly.
possibly run as a third party, which would almost assure Hillary of her election. But I got to
Or
tell you, I worry about, and I'm a Democrat, you know that, and I'm a progressive, and I'm a Bernie Sanders person, because how can you not be? When you listen to what he wants to do, okay, how can you not be for Bernie Sanders? He's for the common guy, the ordinary guy. But Hillary, and I'm not talking now about Benghazi or anything, or the emails, but Hillary definitely has a trust problem.
she has her issues.
Many people are losing confidence and trust in what she says. Okay, and if she's not careful, she's going to wind up with her foot in her mouth. Okay, which is what happened in 2008 when she thought that she was so far ahead, like the tortoise and the hare, And then little by little, Obama kept pecking away, and he wound up getting the nomination.